What's good with it, Black Goose TV family? Double salute as always. Your boy Fluence is back in the building again. We doing a double hitter quitter. One day, Fluence Lounge earlier, back again with Fluenceboxing tonight. I'm gonna be absolutely 110% with y'all, man. I don't know what I got myself into tonight. I don't know what I got myself into. I was debating with myself. I was like, man, I want to go live, but at the same time, in the state, in the predicament, in the mindset, and the way I'm feeling, is it a smart move to go live? But regardless, here I am nonetheless. That's why y'all gotta show me love, man. That's why y'all gotta hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Support the channel because I'm here. I'm here even when maybe it shouldn't be the best idea for me to do so. Like I feel like I'm on the star side of the game, but hopefully, you know what I'm saying, I can keep it clean, I can keep it PG, I keep myself in line. Fluence is feeling fluenced more than ever, you know what I'm saying? But Saturday night, so y'all rock with me. Hopefully y'all Saturday's been absolutely amazing. If y'all want to talk boxing, hop up into this stream. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna be talking boxing when it comes to it. I don't know how long this stream is gonna be. It may be short, maybe ridiculously long, and maybe in the middle, whatever the case may be. We're gonna have a good time nonetheless. Show your boy some love if you do come up in here, man. Make sure y'all comment and engage. You know what I'm saying? Help us out with getting us in the algorithm. Anyways, now with all that being said, hopefully y'all had a good Saturday, man. Let me say that before we get into the shits. Hopefully y'all Saturday been good. Hopefully your Saturday's been absolutely solid. My Saturday's been, you know what I'm saying? My Saturday's been good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My Saturday's been good. You know what I'm saying? Had a little cardio session earlier in the day. Was able to watch the UFC 280 card. It wasn't really that great, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Chill for the most part. After that, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Just had some fun. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Talking to the people. So my Saturday was cool. I don't want to say a prediction, but what I'm going to say is I have high hopes for tomorrow as well, because tomorrow's looking like it's going to be an amazing day. We're going to go see Black Adam. You know what I'm saying? Go see that in the movies, in the IMAX, in the joint. You feel me? I got some plans to meet up with a couple joints, and it's going to be a good day tomorrow. And I'm going to get the haircut finally. It's been about a month, man, since I got the haircut. So I'm gonna get everything lined up. So tomorrow gonna be a good day too. But my Saturday's been good. So hopefully y'all Saturday been well as well. You know what I'm saying? And if it hasn't, hopefully if y'all hop up in here, this makes it a little bit better. And once again, we on the Fluence boxing side of the game. It's Saturday night, late Saturday night. So you know what I'm saying? We're just gonna shoot the shit, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold back. Feel free to let let the people know however you feel, man. Hit the comment section. I want to know how y'all thinking. I want to know what y'all what your mindset is, your opinions on this particular topic. So please, you know what I'm saying, engage. You feel me? So, all right, let's get into the first topic. Obviously, this is something that a lot of people have been talking about. When it comes to the boxing community, it's been, as of lately, everyone's been, speaking on it. Everyone's had their opinion. Everyone's had something to say about it. And that has to do with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Okay. Obviously, I titled this particular video in a certain way, so y'all can come in and y'all can feel intrigued, maybe triggered right off the, off the bat. Remember, there's a question mark at the end of that. I'm saying Terence Crawford ducking Errol Spence. There's a question mark. So I'm not saying necessarily that's how I feel, but, that can possibly be the idea, or at least how a lot of people see how this situation is going if you don't take a deep dive in to the actual details and look at it unbiasedly. If you don't look at it unbiasedly, Terence Crawford does look like he's ducking. Okay, but we're going to go off some reaction videos. I got Eddie Hearn talking about some things. Errol Spence responding to some things. I even got, I think, Terence Crawford talking about some things too. So we're gonna look at that. Before we look at that, we're gonna analyze some things, man. Look, we got the OG in the building. Is Snipers. What good with it? He said, I'm working right now. I'm gonna have to dip out this joint. But all I'm gonna say is, whoever actually thinks Bud is ducking, come see me. Al Heyman never guaranteed him his money. That's his fault, not Bud's. We're gonna get into that. That's a beautiful start right there from Miss Snyder, from Is Snipers. Not only did he not guarantee the money, Terence Crawford was even willing to take a lower pay cut, a lower split in order to get the fight done, even to the point where he said, like, look, I won't even take any pay-per-view points. I just want to make sure that the money you're promising me, I can actually be paid that. And you know what I'm saying? He never heard back from Al Heyman and his team, allegedly, right? We're going to get into that. Sniper said, drop a like. See you, Flu. Keep up the grind, brother. Appreciate you, Snipers, man. OG of the channel, man. See, that's what I do this for, man. That's like a revitalization right there. See, I was wondering. I was like, man, should I go live? I don't know. Here I am. Right there. Salute to you, Is Snipers, man. Do your thing. He's always working, man. He's grinding, getting the money. Nothing but respect to him as always, man. OG of the channel, man. Salute. Double salute, actually. Now, I actually want to touch on that. That's That's something that a lot of people don't actually want to speak on when it comes to this situation, where people don't actually want to pay attention to. Terence Crawford, it's been known that he's been asking for a lot of money, but in order to get this fight done, he was willing to take a pay cut. That's no alleged. That's no a possibility. No, that's been reported as facts. He was willing to take a pay cut. But when he was willing to do that, PBC, Al Heyman, they said, whoa, we didn't expect that. But now I'm not going to be too biased. So I'm going to keep everything in order. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say too much of my opinion on there. I don't want to go, a little bit. I don't want to go too much off of order. So, all right, with that being said, the idea of Terence Crawford ducking Errol Spence really comes from the fact that at the end of the day, most people assumed from day one that the reason why this fight wasn't happening was because of Terence Crawford. So if you already in your mind believe, okay, Terence Crawford, he was with Bob Arum, he's with Top Rank, Top Rank and PBC, they don't really, they're not on good terms, they're not on good graces. If they're not already able to do good business, then why doesn't Terence Crawford just leave Bob Arum and go sign with PBC and Al Heyman, right? That was the biggest, I would say, criticism against Terence Crawford during the majority of his career. And that was, a big criticism when it came to the fight being done. And the reason why a lot of people felt like it was because of Terence Crawford that the fight couldn't happen, right? So if you already have this preconceived notion or this preconceived feeling that, okay, Terence Crawford already made it difficult for the fight to happen. Now that he's a free agent, it's easy to cast the blame on him still, especially with him not having a big machine behind him. But all you have to do is go and look at the facts. You got to look at the papers. You got to look at the articles. You got to read them, digest them. And you have to understand that as of now, is it right to say that Terence Crawford is ducking Errol Spence? Is that a valid thing to say? Because that is a lot of the word going around right now. Got last one in the building. Another OG. What's good with the last one? How long has this been going on for, man? At least 4 years, man. I remember I was still a young man when they first started talking about Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence happening. Now, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the older side of the game. So it's been going on a long time. At least 4 years they've been talking about this fight happening. That's the thing. And I'm like, this is what I hate to do. I don't like to be one of those boxing channels who kind of like talks about the same shit every day. Oh, I talk about Terence Crawford today. I'm going to talk about Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence tomorrow. I'm going to talk about them. Like, I hate that because I hate talking about the shit that's a possibility. I like to talk about the things that have already been, looked at as it's actually going to happen. If it's a rumor, if it's allegedly, okay, we can speak about it for the time being, but then, we don't have to necessarily harp on it over and over until it actually becomes confirmed. And in this sense, I've always had my, skepticism when it comes to this particular fight, because it's not even, I don't place blame on either of the fighters the way I see it. I can't place blame on Errol Spence. I can't place blame on Terence Crawford. What I can't place blame on is the business of boxing. That's what's making it so hard, because there's too much money to be lost. You got to understand, even if you want to look at it from a financial standpoint, there's way more money to be lost on Errol Spence and PBC than there is for Terence Crawford. And really just him now standing alone. Even when he was with Bob Arum, there was more money to be lost on Errol Spence's side, because there's a bigger market behind Errol Spence. So Errol Spence losing to a guy like Terence Crawford, there's a lot of money going out of PBC's door. So PBC has to make sure everything is right. Last one says it's going to be like Con and Brook. It's already there. That's actually a great comparison when it came to Con and Brook. Yeah, actually, I'm not mad at that right there. I like that. Followed that one up. He said, I don't think either of them are scared. It's the promoters trying to bleed every last drop out of the stones. Now, I agree with that when it came to Terence Crawford still being with Top Rank and Bob Arum. I'm actually one of the few, or, in the minority when it comes to thinking an aspect of, I actually think Bob Arum did everything he could to try to make the fight happen. I still believe to this day that I think, PBC was just asking for such a big split that you can now see Terence Crawford was okay with doing, but obviously Bob Arum at the time wasn't okay with doing, because they feel like they probably want to get their money's worth back, because obviously there's going to be a lot more money behind it. Now Terence Crawford is a free agent. He's by himself. He can take a smaller split. He's showing he never had a problem with the money. He just wants to fight. He wants to make it happen. And now all of a sudden there was complication. There was problems. Can't show him the guaranteed money. And here we are. And then all of a sudden now we're in a position now we're still blaming Terence Crawford. And it doesn't make sense to me because there's nothing standing in between these two, because Terence Crawford technically doesn't have a promoter, quote unquote. Obviously, he has someone advising him. Obviously, he will probably have a promoter at some point once he decides to sign with someone, or he may do his own thing, whatever the case may be. But as of now, quote unquote, he's just himself as his own entity. So if that's the situation, right, then what is so difficult about this fight being made? If we know Errol Spence wants to fight, if we know Terence Crawford wants to fight, why is it not being made? And I feel like there's such a simplicity to this argument, but for some reason, it's looked at in a way as if it's more than what it is. If the two fighters want to fight, then what's the problem? The promoters, okay. If Terence Crawford is no longer with the promoter, why is the fight not happening still? If you're arguing to me that Terence Crawford is scared to fight Errol Spence, I probably can't have a conversation with you because that doesn't make any sense to me. These guys are at the point, both of them in their career, where legacy fights make their legacy, and all they're chasing is legacy at this point. So there's a lot of questions, a lot of what ifs. The narrative of Terence Crawford ducking Errol Spence, do I disagree with it? Do I agree with it? In my personal opinion, I think I'm in a little bit in the middle. I don't think he's ducking him at all because as for him personally as a fighter, that's not even possible. Do I believe the whole entire problem when it comes to this particular fight has been the promoters? Yes. Has it been the money that needs to be agreed on? Yes. But now that we're in the situation where, by the way, guys, not only is he fighting Avian, but he's getting 10 mil. Everyone wants to call him out for making, okay, you fighting on this the December 10th. You're not fighting Errol Spence. But he's kind of like, you guys have to think a little bit deeper. Look at it a little bit deeper. He was willing to take a pay cut against Errol Spence to fight him, right? But supposedly, Terence Crawford is scared of Errol. But yet he's fighting a guy that a lot of people don't even know who is, in Avian. If I'm saying his name wrong, I'm very sorry. But I've seen him fight before. He's fought some guys that I watched him fight. But he's making 10 mil for that fight, guys, without a promoter. 10 mil, allegedly. So come on. Last one says it's going to be a trilogy, or at least 2 fights. They're gonna make it. It's gonna be a rematch clause for sure. But I just think the holdup is, I really think PBC is looking for the right time. But okay, I got reaction. I said I'm reacting. So what I would like to do before I pull up the videos, there's a particular article that I actually want to pull up on this situation. It's coming from Robert Garcia. So I'm gonna pull that article up first, and then I'll go to the reactions. Bad boy didn't want to click for some reason. Last one said 10 mil without a promoter. Damn, yes. And I don't worry, I'll pull up the fact. Y'all might, if y'all think I'm capping or anything like that, I'll pull up the facts. Better than most with promoters, bro. That's better than what he was doing with Bob. And then people are saying, like, think about this. People are saying, like, how are you going to sue Bob Arum? You chose to be with him. How are you losing out on money? People don't understand the main reason why he was suing Bob, or is suing Bob, or still in it, is because the reason why he resigned with Bob, it wasn't about how much money he was making. It was about he was promised the Errol Spence fight, which then accumulated into a lot more money that could be made. So that's how everything translates in saying that, he lost out a lot of money. He feels like he owes him money because he was promised the Errol Spence fight, and they wasn't able to make it get done. And that's a big part of that's because the promoters weren't willing to take it. Who knows if it was on Bob? Because as of now, you still can't make it happen with Terence Crawford, not with Bob, and Al Heyman's still over in the seat. But people are still going to blame Terence. All right, let me pull this article up real quick. Avian. I think I was saying it right. I should have been. Gee. I'm pulling this bad boy up for y'all. Let me hold on. Let me close some of these tabs so I can get a better connection for the people. My bad, y'all. Got to add. All right, my bad, y'all. Had to get a better connection for the people, man. Had to close. I had a lot of tabs up, man. You know how that goes. But look at this. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it over a little bit. Crawford fighting Avian. This is something he already had lined up, says Robert Garcia, allegedly. So this is Robert Garcia's opinion. But trainer Robert Garcia thinks that Terence Crawford had already planned in motion to fight David Avian on December 10th months ago rather than Errol Spence Jr. Instead of telling Spence, Crawford kept his fight with Avian quiet until it was made. Although Robert is disappointed in the choice of Avian, he doesn't blame Crawford for taking his fight. Here it goes. Here he goes. Given the huge 10 million plus payday he's getting for an easy night's work. So Crawford, think about this. This is Crawford kind of like this is such a chess move from Crawford because he's literally saying like, look, I wanted to fight Errol. I was willing to take the pay cut. I was willing to take the lopsided, split. I was willing to do whatever was needed. And somehow the fight didn't get made. And I had this on my back burner. I was willing to take this fight over this. I wasn't even playing hardball with y'all. And I had this in my back burner. Think about it. Now you think now just imagine when he goes back to the negotiation table, when he goes back to negotiating, he's gonna be like, hey, that's what I'm worth. We got something different to talk about now. This is a smart move right here from Crawford. So once again, although Robert is disappointed in the choice of Avian, he doesn't blame Crawford for taking the fight, given the huge 10 million plus payday he's getting for the easy night work. Robert says he would have preferred to see Crawford choose another welterweight like Vergil Ortiz for a December 10th fight. At least he'd be giving the boxing fans a little bit more interesting on paper. Come on now. All right, I'm not going to read all the way through this, but this is what I'm going to do. Okay, yeah, it's possible, said Robert about Spence versus Crawford likely never happening now. $10 million. There are very few fighters that wouldn't take that kind of money. He hasn't fought in a year. Whoever is putting up the money, it might break even or lose a little money, but it won't be a lot. Crawford without a promoter. Yep, he's still without a promoter. He could have easily made an offer to Golden Boy for Vergil Ortiz. Vergil would have been perfect. I don't know why he made that decision to fight Avian. You just said why. He made 10 mil. In boxing, what we were expecting Spence, and if that wasn't finalized, at least give him something in that direction. What people are going to be excited, happy to see business-wise. If he's going to make 10 mil, why not make the easiest fight possible and make 10? I don't blame him. There's much better names out there that would have made more sense. So that's confirmed, y'all. That's confirmed. 10 mil without a promoter. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about Terence Crawford. I got nothing but respect for it, man. That's beautiful. So I'm like, it's hard for me to look at this and say, oh, I'm going to agree with the idea or the statement that Terence Crawford is ducking Errol Spence. It's hard for me to look at this and have, have something in my mind where I'm like, yeah, Terence Crawford don't want no smoke with Errol Spence, because if he had this in his back pocket the entire time and he could have just right off the bat just announced this fight and had this fight and been like, okay, Errol Spence, you can wait after. He did this as a power move. He showed I'll play ball. Errol, Al Heyman, what I got to do? I got to take a bad split. Okay, bet all this. So let me just see the guaranteed money. We good to go. Okay, I can never see it. So I'm showing you to an extent, I'm showing you my hand where I'm like, I'm willing to play. I'm willing to go along your terms to make this fight happen, but you can't do this one little thing for me? Okay. You think I'm desperate? I'm not desperate. See, that's the thing. You think I'm desperate. I'm not. Wow. And this comes out of nowhere. Avian, 10 mil. No promoter. That's crazy. What and how will people look at Terence Crawford now after this? Especially the ones who don't like him. Because you gotta acknowledge. You gotta acknowledge that's a power play right there. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play the first videos from Fight Hype. Errol Spence lashes out at Terence Crawford. And then after that, I'm gonna go with Eddie Hearn finding out about Terence Crawford fighting Avi Hassan. And then we got another one more Terence Crawford Errol Spence video after that. But let's get into the first reaction video. How about that? Salute to the people, man. Salute to everybody up out there. Happy Saturday. Hopefully y'all Saturday been cool, man. If y'all up in here, man, show some love, man. Hit the like button. You feel me? And it looks like it's gonna be tweets. I haven't watched this, but I'm seeing it right in the beginning. But it looks like it's gonna be tweets. It's coming from Fight Hype. But make sure y'all come up in here, man. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not part of the family. You already know, man. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday night. Hopefully everybody feeling good. Absolutely amazing. Let me throw this up here on the screen so we feeling on a whole nother level. You feel me? And so I think this is interesting to look at because there's trying to be a narrative that's going to be put out, like I was saying earlier, where Terence Crawford is going to look like he's a problem, similar to the title, that he's ducking, that he's scared. But is that the truth? Or is that what they're just trying to make you think if you don't pay attention rather than just being a fan? See what he got to say. See, I say, nigga, been stalling for months. I could have fought in November. Been fighting at this weight for over a decade. This ain't easy or fun. What do you mean by that? Been fighting at this weight for over a decade. This shit ain't easy or fun. What does he mean by that? Is he saying because he's been at 147 this entire time, he's put in more work, he's laid more groundwork, and Terence Crawford is just a visitor, he's a neighbor, he's just stopping by for a second, he's taking a quick car ride in a whip that ain't his, and he don't really know what it's like to be, you know what I'm saying, really in the trenches when it comes to that particular weight class? Is that what he's saying? I don't know. Let's see. What y'all think? Excuse me. In my personal opinion, like if you want me to be 100 with you, he's not. It's like he's saying things directly to Terence Crawford. Oh, I'm sorry, indirectly to Terence Crawford. But at the same time, when I look at it, it's like there's a possibility I can interpret those same words, and maybe it could be undershots or undertones of maybe even just going at the business side of the game. Period. Too. Because obviously it depends on how involved Errol Spence is at the end of the day. But you also have to keep up persona, negotiations, all those type of things. It's just, and this was before. But I'm pretty sure he already knew previously. I'm pretty sure they know weeks before, days before, when a fight's gonna happen or when a fight's not gonna happen. Last one said maybe he's bored, man. I don't know what the case is. All right, so what I want to check out now, it's gonna be next, is Eddie Hearn's thoughts on the Crawford Avi Hassan fight. And I'm really interested, in my personal opinion, like the most specific thing I'm really interested in is what does he think about the payday? What's his thoughts on the payday? And I'm like, who's he gonna put the blame on? Who's he gonna think? Who's ducking? I'm like, is he gonna try and make Crawford feel away? Because what's interesting when I look at Eddie Hearn at this particular time, I've always been a fan of Eddie Hearn, but this has not been a good year for him. That Conor Ben Chris Eubank Jr. situation, that just was just a terrible look, man. But they still trying to make that fight happen. So it's like I can't feel no type of way about it. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up. Salute, we here. Man, I got some good food waiting for me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Let's get the full screen happening. All right. Let's go. Eddie. Talk to the people, man. Don't hold back.
This interview, I want to know your thoughts about Crawford's fight because it got us like by surprise.
Yeah, I mean, look, sooner or later, Crawford has to fight. You know, he's been out for a long time. It's obviously disappointing for boxing. You know, Crawford Abanesian is a fight that no one wants to see, but somehow he's getting paid a lot of money. So good luck to him. I think that really, look, I've been there before trying to make big fights that haven't been possible to make, and honestly, they haven't been my fault. Maybe some, but so there has to be a reason why this fight didn't get made. I don't know that reason. Sometimes the fighter's expectancy of how much money they should make in a fight is not real life, you know. And the problem with Spence Crawford is, and I've said it for a long time, to us, to people in boxing, it's a massive fight. But to the general world, it's not as big as you think it is, right? So therefore, the money these guys want is not necessarily achievable. And if it was achievable, trust me, the fight would get made. Like, if the numbers existed, the fight gets made because everyone makes money. But the problem here is Crawford says, I want X. You know, Spence says, I want X. And the promoters, Al Heyman, look at the money and go, we can't do this fight without losing money. And we're not prepared to.
So Eddie Hearn is actually walking I'm actually surprised. I thought he was gonna play at least one side of the fence, but he's actually, kind of keeping himself in the middle. He's not really pointing out anyone, and I think that's smart because everybody knows there's a lot of information out there where Terence Crawford was not playing hardball. Actually, what I'm about to do right now. I'm about to pull up the split agreement from Terence Crawford. Just to see if there was a wildly ridiculous claim or asking price or amount of money that Terence Crawford wanted that made this fight in jeopardy. So that's what I'm about to pull up. All right, so I think what I'm going to be looking for here is going to be coming from okay, here we go. And it's going to be coming from ESPN.com, guys. So I'm going to pull this up for the people. I'm actually going to take a chance because I haven't read this particular article. I've read another one. All right, so this is when originally, and this is when a lot of people, was circulating the idea or the potential or, I'm saying, just the hopefulness that this fight was going to be happening soon. Sources: Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford agreed to terms for potential November 19th make a fight, right? As of now, we know that's not happening. Obviously, Terence Crawford's fighting Avian signed for 10 mil plus. But let's read this. Give us context. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford have agreed to all material terms for a fight for the undisputed welterweight championship and even targeted for November 19th in Las Vegas. Multiple sources tell ESPN. However, the deal has not been signed as the parties' lawyers clean up legal language in the agreement. Per sources, Crawford, ESPN's number one pound for pound boxer at the time, and top welterweight, acquiesced to all proposed financial terms from PBC creator Al Heyman, including the short end revenue split. Sources said the packages include a bilateral rematch clause that the loser will have the right to exercise per source. If the rematch clause is triggered, the winner will earn the majority of the revenue from the return bout per sources. The 147-pound summit meeting, Spence holds the the WBC, WBA, and IBF, while Crawford holds the WBO. Okay. They will both be presented as a co-promotion between Spence's Man Down Promotions and Crawford's TBC Promotions on PBC pay-per-view. High-powered attorney Jeffrey Spence is representing the Heyman-Spence side as the contracts are being reviewed. I want Terence Crawford. That's the fight I want, Spence said. That's the fight everybody else wants. Terence, I'm coming for the belt. 32-0 from DeSoto, Texas, return from surgery. I'm actually going to fast forward a little bit. I want to get the actual specific terms here. Does it say I'm free? Okay, so that was actually a waste of time. So I'm sorry. I probably should have read through that before I show this to you guys. I want to get you guys the actual split where Terence Crawford agreed to the split. So let me get that for you guys real quick. I'm gonna pull that up for you guys. All right, here we go. Then we're gonna go back to the video. Okay, if you want to be honest, man, I might have to correct myself. Okay, no, yeah, I got the. This doesn't give you the specifics that I wanted to give you guys, but it definitely gives you a very good idea. So, because I'm trying to find the article on the fly, but I can't find that joint. All right, so check this out. The Ultimate Welterweight Showdown appears to be on. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. have agreed to all material terms for a fight for the undisputed 147-pound championship, although no contracts have been signed, according to ESPN, which cited multiple sources. Outlets reported that it organized targeting November 19th. Crawford agreed to accept less than 50% of the revenues. Also, look at that, 50% less of the revenues. Also, a rematch clause will be in place regardless for wins. The match has been compared to other great welterweights. So he accepted 50% less of the revenues. That shows you right there. And there's other articles that even state clearly that actually Terence Crawford, the specific split that he had, and then also he was just looking for guaranteed more money in order for him to, move forward with everything going on. Let me get my charger. My bad, Joe. Got my phone down over here, and this isn't me. This isn't me like, okay, I'm gonna stick up for Terence Crawford night. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just like, let's look at everything fairly, objectively, and let's put everything in a box, and then let's unbox it, and let's really pay attention. We got Let's Talk About It back in a bit. What's good with it? Let's talk about it. How'd your homecoming go, man? Good time? You back early? I expected, man. Wait, what side? It depends though. What side of the spectrum you on, in the West Coast or the East Coast? Because I'm like, if it's the East Coast, all right, you back late. West Coast, you back early. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get back to what Eddie Hearn was talking about, or at least his opinion on the whole entire Avianson Terence Crawford fight. What was interesting to me too, when it came to that specific discussion, when he was talking about, I know how, about big fights not happening, and I was not a part of some, but then I was a part of some. So okay, you on the East? Okay, yeah, bet. So yeah, you coming in on late? Okay, so I'm figuring you had a good time, man. So salute to that. But I'm like, Eddie Hearn, it's very interesting how Eddie Hearn does not like to, necessarily take blame about anything. But I don't expect him to. He's a promoter. That's what they do. But let's go ahead and finish up. And we're not going to go through the whole thing because this is 8 minutes and 35. I know the whole thing is not about Crawford. I know the whole thing is not about Avianson, but I just want to hear his, thoughts and opinions on, how everything ended up turning out between Crawford and Errol Spence. And no doubt, let's talk about it. You already know, man. Salute to you, bro.
Lose money. Now, in the instance of Crawford's next fight, someone is going to lose many, many millions, but maybe they don't care, but they're not running a business.
Do you consider the fighters have a lot of power now in the negotiations of big fights?
Yeah, of course, because they're the talent. Look, fighters, it's a dangerous sport. Fighters should get as much money as they deserve, but you can't take away from the reality of what a fighter generates. Terence Crawford has never done any pay-per-view numbers, right? When he boxed Amir Khan, top rank, hemorrhaged millions of dollars in that fight. So therefore, and Errol Spence has never done any big pay-per-view numbers. And when he did, he had Mikey Garcia as a dance partner, and still that.
I liked how he's being very clear in what he's saying. He's not bashing either one of the fighters. He's basically saying there's a lot of money on the table, and if you're gonna put up a lot of money, you're scared to lose it if you feel like you're not gonna be able to get it back. That's simple, like the simplest of terms. But even in that sense, you have to argue if Terence Crawford is willing to take a 50% cut in what he's usually making, as we can see, he's about to make 10 million without a promoter against somebody that a lot of people don't even know who it is. What is really the problem? What's going on here? What is holding up the fight realistically? But it is very interesting to see Eddie Hearn kind of playing both sides of the fields right now, where he doesn't want to disrespect either one. You know what I'm saying?
Proven in terms of pay-per-view draw. I believe that fight would do good numbers because it's a tremendous fight. But you can't guarantee that fact unless you're prepared. The only person that has to roll the dice is us, right? I mean, the fighters are rolling the dice because they have to get in there and fight. But in terms of the numbers,
I was about to say, my bad. Yo, Eddie, that's crazy. I know you didn't just say the only people who got to roll the dice is the promoters. I'm like, yo, the boxers is risking their life, man. You know better than that. Why is he playing both sides so well? Like he's having such a political answer, and I'm like, I've never seen him talk so specifically in a positive light when it comes to either Al Heyman or Bob Arum. Even though Bob Arum isn't involved in this, it's like, what's the reasoning behind this? Like, why is he kind of like tiptoeing along the line? I'm not used to seeing this type of Eddie Hearn.
We roll the dice, and we're big boys. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But there has to be a logical decision. When there's so much money in a fight and the numbers are right on every side, fights get made like that when two guys want it. But when the numbers are unrealistic and there's too much doubt and risk, that's when people will kick back on the smaller points. Now, this is a fight where there's no political networks, no cross promotion. It's just one free agent and PBC. But they couldn't get it made. And now, you've seen the reaction of fans for Crawford against Avanesian. You know what I mean? But he's got to fight at the same time. And if he's not going to fight Errol Spence right now, good luck to him, because he's going to make a lot of money for an easy fight.
Why Terence Crawford?
And it's like, Eddie, I respect that, saying good luck. It's like, you can't be mad at that, man. That's the name of your game. You do that for a lot of your fighters. Oh, you give a lot of money to a lot of your fighters for easy fights, just to build them up. You can't be mad at Terence Crawford finally being able to do it for himself. Terence Crawford was a young man in the game, him, because you be throwing your hands like Birdman trying to feed on that. You feel me? Y'all know that's the case. Let's talk about it. I think the strategy on Bud I think the strategy on Bud's camp, because he takes this fight, that means Spencer has a mandatory fight with Boots. And I know I said the last name right. Oh, and Salsa. I'm not sure who Salsa is, man. You're talking about the chips. He do got a mandatory with Boots. That's coming up definitely. But you got to understand this, though, too, when it comes to Errol Spence. Errol Spence right now, as much as they're talking about he wants to be undisputed, both Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is talking about moving up. And they have enough weight where they don't got to fight nobody they don't want to fight when it comes to 147, and they can fight whoever they want to fight when it comes to 154. So with that being the case, they really don't have to fight each other. Like, I've been saying this, like, if Terence Crawford, he goes, he beats Avian Song, right? What if okay, he beats Avian Son, Jermell Charlo versus Tim Tszyu happens. Jermell Charlo beats Tim Tszyu. Jermell Charlo versus Terence Crawford next. Terence Crawford, Jermell Charlo undisputed at 1-4. What looks better? No, he wasn't undisputed at 147, but he was a what 4-weight division champion, and then undisputed at 154, the heaviest weight class. Think about it. Damn, I got my phone dropping and stuff. I'm like, think about it. I'm like, Terence Crawford has so many options that he can choose from and what he wants to do when it comes to propelling his career and continuing to move forward and continuing to be able to do, amazing things. It doesn't all revolve around Errol Spence. Now, does Errol Spence's entire career revolve around Terence Crawford? No, I don't think it does either. So I think both sides realize that, and they're both trying to really leverage each other to a point where it's like, you really can't leverage me. Like, I'm good with or without this fight. The fans want the fight, but there's so many fights we can make and still have a great career and make a lot of money without each other, fighting each other and having to sacrifice the potential earnings we can have or the potential money that can be made without, having to jeopardize such a crazy split in money or a gamble at, I hope, I don't make as much as I usually do, but if this fight goes a certain way, I can be this and that. And, they just maybe it's too low of a reward, too high of a risk.
Crawford is in that position if he doesn't have the numbers?
Because he's never, maybe he wasn't promoted correctly on the way through. Maybe the public have never, you look at someone like Canelo Alvarez, the public adore him, right? You do a weigh-in and you get 3,000 or 4,000 people just turn up to a weigh-in. It's someone that has an emotional association with fans, right? Crawford, when he fights in Omaha, they love him. But outside of Omaha, you could walk him down any street in America, people don't know who he is. And he's a brilliant fighter. Maybe pound for pound number one. He's that good. But he's never been a draw. That's the problem. And that's not something you can rectify now. That's something that you have to build over years. Fighters don't have any profile and then all of a sudden become huge stars overnight. Like at 34 or whatever it is, you build it over a period of time. You build the fan base, you build the exposure globally, and you build them into a big star by aligning with brands through, broadcast numbers, through shoulder content, through everything. But it's just never happened for Terence Crawford, and he's a tremendous fighter.
But I'm like, I just don't understand that. I'm like, that's such a weird statement to me when he's about to get paid, $10 million to fight Avian Son. How you can say he hasn't built himself? How you can say he hasn't been able to put himself in a position where he can demand a certain amount of money, and he's about to make one of the biggest paydays he ever made without a promoter? That is absolute. That doesn't make any sense. That's false. Eddie Hearn should be saying allegedly after that. Terence Crawford should sue. Like this nigga is talking crazy shit. Let's talk about said if they don't fight soon, I don't see Bud going up to 154. I mean, he could. I can see Bud going up to 154 for real. I really do. I really think, but for specific fights. I'm not saying he's just gonna go up there and he's gonna sit there and he's gonna, I don't think Bud's plans to fight for that much longer. But I think if he gets the right fights, if he sees the right fights, he's gonna take it. But I'm like, the one thing is just like, that's such a weird narrative where if Terence Crawford can't sell, if Terence Crawford can't make money, if Terence Crawford isn't a big draw, people aren't paying attention to him, numbers this, number that, how was he able to get such a big payday without a promoter? Whether he wins, whether he gains money off of this, whether he loses money off of this, whoever's investing, whoever's investing in this particular fight, whatever the case may be, they saw the worth. So you can't argue that anymore. I feel like that can't even be the case. That can't even be the topic of discussion. I was going to say, hey, man, I got to jump out, but thanks for covering. Absolutely, last one. Appreciate you, man. Salute to you. I'm going to be back tomorrow for the Lakers game, man. Absolutely, man. Hit the like button, man. Show some love. Yeah, something like that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, I don't understand how that's still an argument. I don't understand how that's still something that you can try and make as an excuse when it comes to Terence Crawford when he's literally just proved I was willing to take this amount. I was never asking for an overly amount. I was going to take a 50% reduction to what I'm usually used to taking for this fight to happen. It didn't happen, and now I'm showing you, oh, I can make this as much money, if not more, much more than what I did with the promoter without one. And it's showing that you trying to say I don't have any type of worth or what my worth is. I'm changing the game. But I get Eddie Hearn, man. You got to play both sides of the fence.
Terence Crawford have a space to improve, right?
Improve what?
To be in that position.
Too late.
Too late?
Too late. Because
Nothing
he's,
to
how
do
old
with
is he?
it.
34?
34.
I mean, it doesn't mean he can't become a bigger name, but you build stars over years and years and years. Now, Canelo Alvarez started fighting at 16. He fought Floyd Mayweather at what, 21, 22, wherever he was. So, and Anthony Joshua, when he won gold, we were aligned him with Under Armour. He was in stores all around the world. Beats by Dre, Lucozade, all these big brands that build and build and build the profile. Crawford never had that. Errol Spence never had that either, because they haven't got, Top Rank's a little bit different, but BBC aren't really a true commercial promotional organisation, in my opinion. They're not really looking to build brands of fighters, and I just feel like
I just thought about it. The reason why he got a tiptoe the line is because Anthony Joshua was probably going to have some dealings with the PBC. So it's like, okay, I can't be as, crazy and bash them as much as possible. And then also with Top Rank, obviously, you have Tyson Fury looming. So you got to be respectful because, what I'm saying, you want that fight to happen, so you don't want to go overboard. Devin Haney, Eddie Hearn is still confident that after Devin Haney fights Lomachenko, that Devin Haney will come back to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's going to offer him the biggest bag of his life. Long run, long term. Don't react in the now, react in the later.
That reason, they never really created many stars, and I just feel like that's a fight. That should be one of the biggest fights in boxing. It should be guaranteed to do 1 million buys. It should be guaranteed to do 25 million on the gate.
Like button if y'all came over here, man.
It's not too sad. There's things in the world. There's worse things.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad for boxing. It's not the first, and it won't be the last time.
Yeah.
But the problem still comes down to, look, if there was $20 million in a pot, right, and there's more than that in this fight, and he wants 8 million, and he wants 8 million.
Hold on, let me stop this because I can see it's freezing up a little bit on y'all, so I know y'all missed a little bit of that. Let me roll it back. Roll it back for y'all. Here we go.
Of fighters, and I just feel like for that reason they never really created many stars, and I just feel like that's a fight. That should be one of the biggest fights in boxing. It should be guaranteed to do 1 million buys. It should be guaranteed to do 25 million on the gate.
It's a very sad situation.
It's not too sad. There's sadder things in the world. Do you know what I mean? There's
Okay,
worse things.
Yeah, you got it.
I know. It's sad for boxing. It's sad for boxing. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last time.
Yeah.
But the problem still comes down to, look, if there was $20 million in a pot, right, and there's more than that in this fight, and he wants 8 million, and he wants 8 million, and you can cover your costs, and the promotion makes money. It gets made in a heartbeat. If he wants 20 million, and he wants 20 million, and there's 25 million in the and the fighters never really get the blame. The promoters get the blame. We want to make great fights.
I don't know if y'all caught the end of that. I know it started acting a little. My Wi-Fi is acting a little bit funky, but I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to hear that. Y'all just bear with me here. I want y'all to hear this because you can see what he's doing. He's playing both sides of the field, but also what he's doing. He's saying, "I'm protecting my base." From saying the promoters get brain. Like I just had this whole entire 49 minutes talking about how it's not on the fighters, and he's putting on the fighters. He said, "Hey, if we have he's basically saying we have a $10 million pot, $8 million pot." And we have one fighter saying, "Okay, I want 1 million." Let me do this so I can let everything kind of respond back to hear me. But what Eddie Hearn is basically saying, he's like, "Okay, if I got 1 million, if we have a $10 million pot, okay, and a fighter's like, I want 1 million. Another fighter says, I want 5 million. That's $7 million. Then we have $3 million to cover all the costs and all the extra stuff. We can make something work. But if we have a $10 million pot, and one fighter's like, oh, I want 25 million, and the other fighter's like, yo, I want 25 million. How can we cover 50 million and we have $10 million as a budget? And did we not discuss already? Terence Crawford is willing to take a hit. He's willing to take a low split cost. So that is staying in line. That is staying on code. That is making sure that everything is in place. I'm still a promoter. I'm going to back my promoters. I might have beef with my promoters, but in this particular sense, I'm still going to. That's going to be my feeling. Let me see if that's a little part to play without having any problems. That's what we want. Because it's 2 minutes, literally. It's 2 minutes. Literally, Xfinity, show me some love. Come on. Come on. Come on. Y'all look like problems with me. Come on. Shimon. Salute to everybody, man. Hopefully everybody enjoying their time. Let's go ahead. Let's get it playing.
Your costs and the promotion makes money. It gets made in a heartbeat. If he wants 20 million and he wants 20 million and there's 25 million in the and the fighters never really get the blame. The promoters get the blame.
Look,
we
there it
want
is.
to make great fights. We want to make money. Right?
Saying blame the fighters
to be made and great fights to be made. We that's all we want. But it's very frustrating sometimes when you're trying to negotiate with a fighter because the public don't see that. And it's not always the fighter. Sometimes
Hit the like button for me, y'all.
Sometimes it's the agent. Sometimes it's the lawyer. And the manager says, he deserves this for that fight. Why? How do you know that? What experience do you have? On the numbers. No, that's just the number. That's what he should get. What? Where's the logic? You pulled a number from thin air. 25 million. Wow. Okay. Yeah, wow. On what basis? So but that's what we deal with. These people who don't understand the numbers. The fans don't care about what us getting the blame. No, but also it's easy to blame the promoter. But fans
it's not easy to blame the promoter. It's easy to blame the fighter. It's easy to say fighters are ducking. That's cap, Eddie.
Fights that make money, that rate on TV, that do good ticket sales, that get everybody excited. So it's not like we're sitting there going, oh no, we don't want to make Spence Crawford. No, we're they should be desperate to make that fight, and I'm sure they are. But when they sit down and you just have to make a business decision and say, we're not prepared to do this fight and maybe lose $5 or $10 million for your benefit. We think you want the wrong amount of money. But the agent or the guy who works in a car dealership who says, nah, it's worth this much, This is what in the ear of a fighter all the time.
I got Eddie Hearn throwing shots, man. Like Suge Knight. God damn. Look, I hear you, Eddie Hearn. But not everyone's stupid. Not everyone's dumb. Not everyone's able to just, hear that and be like, oh yeah, you absolutely right. Like I hear you, but you're not gonna fool nobody, man. Now the easiest person to blame is not the promoter. The easiest person to blame is the fighters. The easiest person to blame, and that's why you have, people going crazy, fan bases, saying this person's scared, this person that is trash. You have someone who's making millions off of their career, off of a skill set, and being told they're weak because they're scared to fight somebody. It's easier to blame the fighters. No one really blames the promoters because, when it comes to fan bases, when it comes to fans, when they're looking at this shit, they don't look at it that deep. And I'm like, that's just a fact. That's just what it is. But it's like a lot of times you got to overinflate the situation. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it seem like it's something that it really isn't. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up the actual announcement of Terence Crawford fighting David Iverson. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure everything good. I gotta plug my shit into the charger. So hopefully everyone having a good Saturday, man. I'm having a solid Saturday. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. Tomorrow's gonna be even better. You already know what it is. So I just want to say blessings to the people. Make sure everybody's feeling good, feeling amazing, feeling 100. Stay absolutely amazing. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead. Let's look at this bad boy being reported to the people. I'm saying I'm gonna go ahead and keep it just right here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't got no internet problems. You feel me? So it's coming from Mike Coppinger. Terence Crawford and David Aviasson have signed to contracts for a welterweight title fight on December 10th in Omaha. Crawford told ESPN streaming service BLK Prime will offer the pay-per-view for $40. Okay, I don't think I've heard of that. I was really looking forward to the Errol Spence fight, Crawford told ESPN. I started communicating with boxing manager Al Heyman and PBC back in June. And unfortunately, they represented a fighter in Errol Spence who didn't want the fight as bad as I did. How you feel about that statement? Crawford will earn a career-high 8-figure payday for the fight, sources said, Mike Coppinger, or as of the reports of Mike Coppinger. I agreed to all of their bull, and they've been dragging their ass for months. Spence was nowhere to be found while I was trying to make the deal. I explained to Al Heyman and Errol that I was going to fight before the end of the year since they want to continue to drag their ass. I'm going to go for a fight another champion who actually has the balls to fight me. David Aviasson is a very tough task. He's knocked out his last 6 opponents, and this guy's dangerous. Once I'm successful against Aviasson, my plan is still the same: whoop Errol Spence ass. So as y'all can see right there, that's interesting, man. Me personally, a lot of people are trying to make this seem like a surprise. If you understand negotiation, oh, we got spam up in here. We gotta get him up out of here. On some bullshit, you out of here. But I'm like, me personally, the way that seemed, the way I read that, it was as if they both knew what was coming. They both knew what was headed. I don't think either teams, any camps, they didn't plan for this particular fight to happen in a particular date that a lot of people were reporting for it to happen. It almost seems as if like this was already predestined. So I think a lot of the fans, a lot of the people watching are getting fooled. They're thinking that this is going to be prolonged because of a certain reason. I think this is all part of the plan. I think Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford is going to happen, but this is all part of the plan. In my personal opinion, that's how I see this all going. I got nothing but respect for it. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I got no ill will toward it, but it's just a very interesting way of it going. It's a very interesting way of promoting the fight, because at the end of the day, I think it might end up being too late when people really want to be interested in this particular fight. But I don't know. I might be tripping. I might be over the top. I might be second guessing. I might be wrong. Yeah, that may be the case, but we'll see. But this is what I want to do to the people, man. I want to show everybody love, man. I want to just appreciate everybody. I was going to talk about the Tyson Fury on the Deontay Wilder win, his reaction. You know what I'm saying? How he was feeling. But the way I'm feeling right now, I'm not 100% sure. But let me see. Let me throw it up here. What we got? Let's go ahead. Let's do it. Let's go into the next topic before we get up out of here. We're gonna talk about the Tyson Fury reacts to emotional Deontay Wilder. Because I am interested to see what he has to say on that. I want to see if he's respectful. I want to see if he's talking his shit. Wait till tomorrow, man. I got Black Adam on. You feel me? Black Adam all day. Because you know what I'm saying? I got Xfinity not showing me no love. So it's like I don't want to be doing this and Xfinity ain't showing me no love. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather do this with Xfinity on the love side of the game. Oh, they switched me over to the whole full press conference. That's crazy. All right, let's go. I'm going to pull this up. We're going to do our best. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. Hopefully, everybody feeling good. Everybody good. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit the like button. Once again, like Lost One said himself, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Show some love, man, if you're not part of the family. You already know what it is. What Tyson Fury had to say. Got to put the captions on. Let's get it.
No, I didn't underestimate anything. I liked it. Any more questions? That's a good British weather. I hope it rains. We all get wet in December. You don't. Yourself and Derek, a bit of a one-on-one over there earlier. them or whatever, something was going on. Are we able to know? It was our romantic night that we had together one night. We can't say too much detail. I think you use your imagination.
The closed captions can't even pick up what he's saying.
Interesting. All that, it's going to be a great fight. We're going to sell out 70,000 fans.
Yeah.
And we're going to give the British fight fans a hell of a war. It's all in the name. War. Remember that.
I would love to see Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder for the fourth time. I don't care what nobody saying.
Say that again.
From when you and Derek last fought, how much of his career before?
I'm gonna fast forward this because I'm trying to get straight to the point.
You've been famous. Is that a sign of respect or happen more?
All right, I'm gonna do because I'm having a little bit of Wi-Fi trouble at the same time though. I'm like, all right. Either way, man, it was a good time because I got some good food waiting for me. So I want to enjoy my food. I want to go crazy with my food. I want to kill it. At the same time, give it one more chance to get to the point. Because I really want to hear what he had to say about that shit.
What if it becomes WC mandatory again? What do you think about that?
Show me the money.
What
Okay, here we go. We're talking about it right here.
Bipolar, I've got anxiety issues, probably got ADHD, I think, as well. Yeah, I've got all of that, all of the above.
Derek brings a lot of antics to shows. It would probably be a great performance, a great build-up as well. What do you think of Derek as a person and as a performer?
I think he's an old gossip. Derek.
And Wilder last week.
Here it goes, right here.
He's an even bigger gossip.
What if it becomes WC mandatory again? What do you think about that?
Show me the money.
What
How much, where, and when?
Look, he went to fight.
Him almost getting so emotional afterwards and telling Helena that he was sorry and that he loves him after that fight.
It makes no difference to me. What matters to me is how much, where, and when.
Would you get in the ring with him a fourth time?
How much, where, and when. That's all I say to all these fights. How much am I getting? Where is it? And when is it?
He's so emotional now since that trilogy with you. The fact that he's almost been humanized, saying "I love you, I'm sorry" to Helena afterwards. Do you think that that's just a combination of the intensity of what went on between the two of you at those three fights?
You can tell Tyson Fury don't want to talk about that shit, man. You can tell Tyson Fury knows he's gonna have to fight him again. He knows it's coming. The way he's talking about it, he's still in fight mode. You can tell, man.
Conditions, fight night, the rain. How do you think that might affect things?
Hopefully it'll rain. Yeah.
Man, you can tell, man, he's still in fight mode. You can tell the way he's seeing it, the way he's looking at it, the way he's responding, the way his eyes laser focused. You could tell he's still in fight mode. He's like, man, nah, I'm not even gonna have no good words. And I'm like, I don't got no problem with it, but I ain't gonna have no good words because it's gonna happen. We're gonna be in the same ring at some point. We're gonna be in the same square. What's gonna happen? It's gonna get popping. So I ain't got no time for that. I ain't got no time to be nice. But look, I already started late. I would even do this live stream. I would even keep going. I should. But I feel like I'm too on the fluence point right now. I don't know, man. I'm feeling good, man. It's Saturday night. I ain't got no problems with nothing that's going on right now. I got much love to the people you already know. It's crazy because tonight we ain't got no good boxing night fights, nothing like that. But we got next weekend, man. We got Vasily Lomachenko coming back. I can't wait for that. By the way, make sure if y'all come up in here, man, hit that like button. Hit the like button, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're not part of the family. Show some love. Like, for real. Because we here, nonetheless. Having a good time. This is a whole new generation. This is a whole new wave. This is a whole new different type of experience. Experience. Whole new. Like, this is a different boxing channel right here, man. I'm telling you. But I'm like seeing Tyson Fury, you know what I'm saying, talk about Deontay Wilder, you can tell it was like he was very careful because he didn't want to applaud him too much because he has to keep him in a warrior mentality because he understands there's a possibility he might fight him again. And I ain't got no respect for that. I don't got nothing but absolute respect for that. I really do. And even then, I don't want to rehash old narratives or old topics, but when it comes to Terence Crawford ducking Errol Spence and hearing the things that Eddie Hearn was saying in reference to that fight happening and saying it's easy to blame the promoters and it's easy not to blame the fighters. No, it's vice versa. People always blame the fighters. They rarely blame the promoters because they don't understand how the business game side of the boxing goes. So there's no reason for you to be capping. That's definitely not necessary. That's definitely not necessary. Talking to hoes, my bad, y'all. So I'm like, it's definitely not necessary. It's definitely. But look, man, I want to appreciate everybody, man, who came up in here tonight, man. Y'all really definitely show love, man. Y'all was hitting the like button like crazy. Keep hitting it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all come up here now, later, earlier, whatever the case may be, hit the like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel if you're not part of the family, man. We're going to be up tomorrow, man. Tomorrow we're going to be up in here, man. We're going to go live for the Lakers game. Lakers playing the Portland Trailblazers. You know what I'm saying? And it really depends on how it goes, man. Who knows, man? I may end up doing a little workout, and I may end up wanting to do Sunday night football, man. So I might hit up on that to do that. But either way, man, I had a good time tonight, man. I want to appreciate everybody, man. If you up in here, man, if you ain't hit the like button, please hit that joint because you already know what type of time we on. You already know what type of motherfucking energy we on. We having a good time. We feeling good. Look, it's not that late where I'm at, but it's late enough where I already know what type of I'm about to watch a good show, eat some good food, and I got some good plans for tomorrow. So I'm having a good time. I'm not mad at it. I appreciate everybody. But look, but really, if you the way I'm feeling, there's some shit that still need to be discussed. It still need to be discussed. The law still needs to be laid down. People ain't paying attention. They don't understand what exactly is going on, but I get it. But there's a lot of improvements too coming to the channel, so y'all know that too. My bad, y'all. But there's a lot of improvements too. Oh, salute to Let's Talk About It, man. Let's Talk About What's Still in the Building. I'm going crazy. I'm ranting right now. I'm not going to keep this going for too long. My bad, y'all. I got the sneezes going crazy. But I just want to salute to the people. Hopefully everybody's having a good Saturday, man. Tomorrow's going to be a good time too, man. We got the Lakers game tomorrow. Me and Zen, we're going to be on for that. And then maybe later in the night, we're going to go for the Sunday night football. Maybe. I'm going to see. I got to get the right amount of workouts in. We'll see. Appreciate you. Let's talk about it. We already know. I appreciate everybody, man. Make sure if y'all came in here, go crazy with the like button, subscribe. I want to keep wilding out. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep going live, but I'm like, nah, man. I don't want to burn the people out. Especially with the allergies going crazy. I got some fire ass food waiting for me. I don't want to keep that waiting, even though it's not late. It's only Saturday night. It's only Saturday night. Look, my biggest thing, what I'm trying to figure out right now is I have a lack of shows that I'm watching, and that's a problem. But I'm going to fix that. Probably not. Probably not. That's the hardest thing right there. But we'll see. But look, hey, double salute to everybody, man. I'm not going to keep it lagging because I don't got nothing else for the people. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time, man. It was a great time. Make sure y'all follow my Twitch. Just started back up, Fluenceboxing. So, you know what I'm saying? Show some love. If y'all ain't like this video, man, like it, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. I'm going to be back tomorrow. You feel me? We definitely going to be back for the Lakers game. Me and Zen going to be going crazy for that. We might even be back again later that night for the Sunday night football. So either way it goes, show some love, man. You already know I appreciate everybody. Let's talk about it. Appreciate you. Last one, appreciate you, bro. It's Snipers. Appreciate you hopping up in here a little bit earlier. Had a good time. You already know what it was. It wasn't a long time, but it was a great time. So appreciate y'all for that. Make sure y'all enjoy y'all weekend. I'm about to go crazy for the rest of my Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? You only got but one day. You never know what happens the next. You feel me? Absolutely. Let's talk about it. Appreciate you, bro. House of Dragon. All right, I'm gonna check it. I be seeing that, man. I couldn't get into Game of Thrones, but I see a lot of people fuck with that House of Dragons, so I'm gonna see what's up with it. I'm gonna see what's up. But appreciate you, Lost Talk. Let's talk about it. Appreciate you, Lost One. Appreciate you with Snipers. Appreciate everybody, man. Hit the like button, please. Once again, if y'all ain't did it, subscribe. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna get it. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Y'all already know what it is. Salute, prayers, stay safe, and be blessed. I'm out of here. Oh wait, hold up. I was gonna do the wrong thing. My bad.